How's everybody doing? Welcome to the Weekly Scheme Podcast. It's your host, Mansa Musa Jr. Hope everybody's doing well out there. We're going to get to the first thing of business. We're out there on all social media platforms, Facebook. We got a Weekly Scheme Podcast group. We got the like page. Go over there, hit us up, like the page, join the group. Talk about a lot of good topics in there. Also, we are on Instagram, the Weekly Scheme Podcast. I'm also on there as Mansa Musa Jr., Supernova 925. I'm also on TikTok, Mansa Musa Jr. I haven't made a Weekly Scheme podcast on that, but we have the Weekly Scheme podcast on YouTube, which we use to go live. I thank everybody for joining us. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, share, comment, and get this thing out there, and so people can come in and join and listen to the real. The topic that we're going with today, the topic is the quarantine and what have you done for me lately? And that's what we need to do. I haven't been on in a week, took time off, had to deal with family, and do different things like that, come up with different content and see which way we're going to move this podcast and different channels that I have. We're going to see how far we're going to move it around and what we're going to do with it. But we come to some conclusions and we're digging our cleats in 10 toes down and we're ready to rock and roll. The phone line will be coming up soon. Give it about like a couple more weeks. You'll be able to call in, hopefully 1 week, but I'm just going to give it 2. But we're going to sit back and we'll talk about, this quarantine and how everybody's been doing. I shot a thing out on Facebook on my page and to see how people were doing, and I told them to drop where they're from, to see how they were doing and what's the laws that are being passed out there. If you can make movement, I know all essential workers were okay all over the place, but that's not for everywhere. A lot of people are still on lockdown. I talked to somebody today and they was talking about between Louisiana and Texas, they're really going to start breaking it down to where they're not letting people come back in there. If you do live in Texas, coming from somewhere else, and you're moving across the line, you have to quarantine for 14 days. That's what she told me. But it's a lot of other questions that go with it, because right now the thing that's bothering me with this is that people are really, really getting confused in what they're saying and what's really happening. Because there's some people out there that haven't stopped moving at all. Like they're constantly moving, regardless if they have a job or not. I know people out there that have continuously moved this entire time and nothing's happened to them. They didn't get sick. I'm saying, not saying that people aren't getting sick, but they didn't get sick. I'm saying, and it's just a lot of things that people aren't understanding, and why I move back. Because once I do that, I see where they're going, and I try to sit back and watch the whole scenery, so I know exactly what I can go and I can hit on to help people in different avenues. And I knew that they were doing a divide and conquer type thing with a lot of people that with knowledge. And then you seen, after I said it, a whole rush of stuff kept coming. It goes in inboxes. People was arguing. It was just like a whole bunch of scrapping and fighting, and people was getting disrespected. And there was some people that I stopped dealing with because of it, because I was like, hey man, listen, if you can't take truth, dude, then you don't need to hold on to it, because truth is a hard pill to swallow. And if you can't take what it is, and there's actual facts that's being given to you, and you can't take it, then hey, I just don't want to be around you. And that's my choice and my boundaries of not being around you. You know what I mean? Not stopping what you're trying to believe in. You go ahead, but we just not in the same lane. And stop all that and arguments. I let people just walk. You can just walk. You always can have your walking papers, and I don't have to keep you, and make you feel that you have to be around. And I don't want to be made to feel like that either. But I wanted to know, like, what's changed with people. That's also why I put that out on my Facebook post. What changed with people? For me, most of the time, people are out here, just people that were still running around and doing like their normal activities, And there's some people that are essential workers that are getting beat down continuously over 12, 13, 14 hours of doing stuff like that, like nurses and doctors. And I had talked about in the last episode about when I went to my doctor. It was the first time I seen her, and in a month since we was on that thing. So I was like, hey, and she told me certain things, and I really just looked at it, and it's really what she was saying. So you got to really weigh your options, understand what you're looking at, use critical thinking and say, hey, you know what? Let me try to make this right and go in. Sometimes you got to go in a gray area and it can't be a left or a right. You just got to maneuver wherever you can go. That's what my dad always told me is change, adapt, and overcome. And that's what I use mostly in my life is to change, adapt to what I'm around. And even if it's a problem and it's hurting me, I overcome it to where I can come out clean on the other side. So then that's what we're here for, to do, to take the knowledge and help you to take pieces of it, swallow the hard pill that sometimes you don't want to swallow, and keep on moving, scheme throughout and get, not in a bad way, but in a good way. Because scheme before, it was a bad thing that I used, but I'm using it in a positive way and turn it into a brand where people can be able to maneuver and understand what they're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? In this quarantine right now, it's like people that's been locked up, the most of the people that I talk to that I know that have been incarcerated, it hasn't bothered them. It hasn't bothered them at all. They're fine with it. And some people have just followed exactly what the people said, to stay in if that's in your state, or if you can go to work. I know people that's still in Jersey, like they had to get passes when they're out late night just to get back, to get back home. And the cops know that in case they do get stopped, that while they're out there, and that's what they're going to start doing. And they're going to start doing it. And there's some states where they're allowing people to go back to certain things. Like they might cut out restaurants still, and but everything else would be opened up for them to do normal things. Me personally, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take that because it just don't. How can certain things be shut down still, and then some people allowed to go? Like, why is that? That's the question that I got in my mind. Why are you allowed to move and I'm not allowed to move? I don't care if you're 4 states over. Why are you allowed to move and I can't? Why are we still on lockdown? Why are people still being strained on and nothing's really, you know what I'm saying? Nothing's really being told to us. It's all confusion. They're saying one thing, and that's why I stopped watching the White House thing, because I'm like, yo, dude, like you get more and more confusing as the more the press conferences go on. Like I'm not understanding what you're saying no more. So that's why I don't even pay attention to the media or on TV, because it's a bunch of hype. And it's to get people all riled up to start arguing and fighting and this is that and this is that. Like I don't understand how people are even fighting over Republican and Democrat right now with all this crazy stuff going on. It should move and push people to a common ground, but it's not. People are just fighting still. For what? You got them stressed out over a quarantine, and you got them stressed over a quarantine when we about to go into an election. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, like that don't even make sense to me. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's like you getting people stirred up on purpose, or getting them off their square that we're not thinking properly, and that's what I don't understand. You shouldn't be able to just do that, you know what I mean, to people, and just think that it's going to be okay, you know what I mean, and people are going to be fine with that. I'm not fine with it, and nobody else should be fine with it. You should question everything. And once you question everything, then people aren't going to be able to lie to you. You know what I mean? They're not going to be able to lie to you. And the people that are essential, this is what I wanted to get on. To y'all, like y'all have been getting beat down, and there's certain people that I've been hearing that are like nurses are being told one thing, they're being overstaffed, kept doing overtime. People are doing double overtime. That's what I'm saying. People are doing almost like sometimes like almost close to like 24 hours, like 4 days just up. They're tired, you know what I mean? It's going down, and then you see them like digging like holes and putting people like, I'm like, why would you put something like that on national TV to where they're showing it, the people getting put in holes, if it's real or not? So what is your purpose of putting a picture up or a news clip up, you know what I mean, a video of people digging holes with hazmat suits on, but you're allowing people to go back out there? Some people are allowed to move around, like in states, like you're about to drop the ban that you have on of people staying in. What type of sense does that make? Like if you told me you dropped the bomb out there and the gas ain't going to subside for 180 days, guess how when I'm gonna go out there? Dude, you might not see me for a year. Because I'm not listening to you. I might mess around and look around, but you're not gonna get me and have me out there looking crazy, because that don't make no sense. That's why people gotta use critical thinking right now and don't just jump because they say jump. Because they've been telling us to do this and jump through hoops and stuff, and they were saying that numbers was getting astronomically high. Like, come on. But then come to find out that people that were dying of heart attacks and other things, basically other things, and they were just putting them under COVID-19. That right there would show you that was a false narrative. Why would you do that to somebody? You know what I'm saying? Why would you tell them a lie like that and then put it out there? And then when they get all scrambled, you're like, hold on, well, nah, let me tell you this. And then you're supposed to believe that. And you're not supposed to do that. That's why people should have their own mind, do their own research, and not wait for these people to be telling them something continuously and move them around like there's some type of robot. Like you got a battery pack in you. You know what I'm saying? You just can't walk around and let these people put a battery pack on you. You know what I'm saying? And most of the time they gave an excuse saying that a lot of us were being put in quarantine for extra long because people weren't listening and staying home. Okay. People weren't listening and staying home. They've been doing that in all states. Not everybody's listening. Because I talk to people and they say they see people driving around, and I'm telling you, not all these people are essential workers. I can guarantee that. You get what I'm saying? So you got people still majority moving around. You're gonna blame it on them and say that's why you're still in quarantine, but then turn around and let them go. Yeah, you can go out. Just don't go here and don't do that. But you can ease back into your normal life. But it's not normal life to certain people. You know what I'm saying? Them people have caused. It's like you try to divide us and conquer us because you're trying to make people mad at people that didn't listen to it. Even though a hard head make a soft behind, but it's always like conflict that you're trying to make out the media. And I don't think it's fair that they doing that to people. You shouldn't do that because people are already scared enough. You know what I'm saying? And people are in here questioning if somebody really actually knows people if they died. Like I know somebody got sick. He's like he came out of a coma. Like he's out the coma now. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta rock with that. Some people did get sick. You know, some people did get sick. The flu epidemic was out around this time. Like we would get the flu epidemic, but this thing right here, I think it was a little stronger because if you notice, all the 5G 5G talk stopped, and a lot of the other things that people were talking about and spreading across there, you just noticed it. I told you it was going to take a dive, and people were going to start to forget. And that's what happened as I sat back. That's why I took an extra week off, because I was going to see what people were going to do. And I actually did it, and people actually fell off. It's like it's dying down. I seen 2 people actually say, hey, what, are you forgetting about what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Do you forget what they said to us, what they did? And some people, it's just going to die away like a lot of other things that they do, and we don't pay attention. We just let it die off. We'll see. We'll see if that's what you do. But you always got to remember what these people, that's when you do something to me, I always remember it. In my brain, I always remember it. Even if something forces it to come to my memory, if I don't remember it, like say I'm just like doing a whole bunch of things and a lot of things on my mind, some things press on me so bad that it brings up memories of stuff that I know was wrong. And I'll be like, oh. And then once I start looking at that in the situation that I'm in at that point in time right there, it always coincides and goes together, and I start to move. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't do it like that, but that's where I've always done it. It's always worked for me. I'm always given what I need at that time to be able to maneuver. Nothing more, nothing less. And I just take it for as that. But a lot of people, you're going to have to be very careful going back out there and thinking that everything that they're saying is fine right now, because I don't think that you should even be back out there this fast, you know, because they were saying at the end of May. So what has astronomically changed for you to change it from May for most of the United States back to, you know, you can go out, but just don't go to restaurants and stuff like that? I don't understand what has astronomically changed. You say that it's the numbers, but you was always showing that you were beefing up the numbers with craziness. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like people dying from other things, or people getting sick from other things. They might come in with a real flu, COVID. And high blood pressure, COVID. Heart attack, COVID-19. Just do it. So there's always a reason behind why you're always saying something for somebody to do. So that's maybe why you're doing it, pushing a false narrative. And then now you can see how far you can push the general public and see how far you can push them and keep pushing them until they break. Because people, I haven't seen, because I told people before I put up a post, I said, yo, have you checked suicide rates? And people thought I was trying to be funny, but I wasn't, because I actually looked it up. And it was spiking for a little bit, like in different areas, it was spiking up and it was moving more than it usually does, because we already got a bad number in America as it is, with suicides. But the thing is that it got worse with this, because some people can't deal with this. They want to get out. Even the people that I say that are working and they're allowed to go to work or are essential, or they're going to work and they're doing it, but they come home and they can't really move, and they got to sit home. Some people aren't used to this. People are used to something. They're going out, meeting people, their friends, eating. All the things that that people do continuously, it just automatically, that's the things that you pull back. And then when you say people can go back out, that's the certain thing that you hold that they can't, have. Like people used to go out and they used to eat all the time, but you say, okay, you can go back out, but you can't go to a restaurant, but but are you allowed to, like, people have been going to work and they've been going to work around people. I don't think that you're sending people to work and you're social distancing them. Good evening, Justine Hughes. How are you doing? Jetty, what's up? Yeah, I just don't think that I'm in the middle of me talking about them talking about social distancing, but you were sending people to work. And I don't think you were social distancing people in there, because I know people in certain jobs have to be around each other, like tight, so where's the social distancing in that? Because they're traveling actually from their house to that warehouse or wherever you're going, office, and they're sitting there. So if it's really that bad, why are they allowed to travel and they're not getting it? Because I haven't heard. That's why I want to know if anybody as a nurse heard about people saying they didn't want to do certain things because they were being exposed to patients with it. But I've never heard of a doctor, except the one that Annette Gio told me that actually put it out from Wuhan, a Wuhan doctor, and he literally died. He said what? But actually, the people that she actually said, it was the one Wuhan doctor, and he passed away from it. But he's the only one that I know of literally this whole time. So I don't really understand that. Are you gonna stop talking in the thing? What are you doing? Hello?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, do you know I'm on the podcast?
Okay, so I was walking outside.
No, you're talking.
I can't talk.
I can hear you on here. Yeah, but that's mostly the crazy thing that I don't understand. Sorry for the interruption. I had to do something. But that doesn't make sense to me. There was a lot of things that didn't make sense to me, but I didn't. Was that the doctor who said something about the virus, that Asian guy? Yes, that was him. He actually passed away, they said, from it. And then another thing that rubbed me wrong, but I just didn't want to make a discernment of it right then and to say something. That's why I was like, I have to sit back. Was like all these people that like Hollywood, all of them are catching it. All Hollywood, like actors, basketball players, NBA players, everybody, all the people that hang together, they were all catching it. All catching it. Like, even the anchors and the news reporters, they were catching it. But then I just seen that Stephanopoulos, dude had caught it, and somebody caught him. I think it was TMZ. I looked at it and I just started laughing. I didn't want to look more into it because I was like, it's gonna piss me off. But he was walking, and the dude, he looked like he was shot. I ain't gonna lie. So I don't know if it's a true picture, because I really didn't look into it. But I was like, they were like, yo, dude, he's supposed to be quarantined. He was walking around out in the street in his neighborhood in the Hamptons. You know what I'm saying? I think they killed him with it. They could have. They could have killed him with it. But who knows, to be truthful. But it just seems real convenient. And I know the way certain snakes slither, and they've been doing it for years, there's usually that type of snake, okay? So the way they move, they possibly have killed him. You know what I'm saying? They probably did it. And who knows? But I know it's a good percentage that's what they probably did to him. It's just a lot of stuff that don't make sense anymore. You know, and they got us sitting here looking crazy, and some people can't take it, and they really not saying anything. They're just talking in circles. They talking in circles, and they got you chasing your tail. And that's what I told people. You better watch out, because you got to sit down and relax, do critical thinking, and do some studying yourself. Because I said you got to do research, because when it really starts to come down to it, to the nitty gritty, and you really sitting there, and you don't want to sit there no more, and you can't move the way you want to do it because they putting fear in you, or you just like want to follow direction, and you probably just a person that follows directions, and you just really want to do something and you can't get there. You know what that is? That's them putting that fear in you, and you can't move now, and it makes you want to snap. You're like, yo, dude, I got cabin fever, I want to go, but you're scared enough. You're too scared to move. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to do it because of what they told you. That's why some people, they're hard-headed. They like, man, I'm not listening to you. I'm going to continue to keep moving because I don't even know somebody that got sick off of it. They're going to keep doing it. So you know what that is? Cause and effect. If they do get it, that's on them. But I know more than 5 people that have been continuously moving this whole time. The whole time. I know them. Talk to them, and they said, yo, I've been moving this whole time. I haven't met anybody that had it. The people say they had it, but but it's somebody that told me they had it. Like they never met them. Like, yo, I know that. Like, and it's just like it just make you go, what's really going on? But then you don't want to be disrespectful in the same manner, because what if somebody family really died from it? You know what I'm saying? That's being disrespectful. They might take it a certain way. It might go up in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? So hey, you gotta relax. They got you teetering like this. So that's why you got to be really, really careful and really scheme through it and get, you know what I mean, and get to where you want to be. And that's where I'm at with mine. I ain't gonna let nobody put a battery in my back and force me to do what I want to do. I'm gonna do another 2 weeks of quarantine. Then I'm gonna start, like, it's like me sticking my toe in the water. I'm sticking like, ooh, that's hot. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm not playing. Because man, listen, dude, I can't keep sitting around here and you just not saying the right things. Like you telling a whole bunch of there's nothing. That's all it is nothingness. Those White House press conferences are turning into nothingness. First of all, I don't trust the doctor that always talking up there, because I did my homework on Feast on Royalty. What's good with you, man? You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting to see what was going to pop up with you. But we on this quarantine and seeing how people doing, and we weighing what they telling us and what we really see, you know, and that's what we going to do. But I don't see what they're saying in those White House press conferences coming out to be true. Those numbers is messed up. They coming out with jacked up graphs. I'm looking at them like, yo, dude, you really putting it there? It got so bad. I don't care what you say. What you say about which news is reporting in there, because dude, they got to pass. They coming in there. Y'all are allowing them to sit in there in those seats. I know what the credentials you got to get in there, dude. You just not walking up in there. I can't just walk up in there and say, hey, I just want to say, hey, Trump, what you doing in your administration? You can't do that. Them people know you got to know somebody, so they're legitimate somewhere in your book, because you're letting them in there talk to you. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna talk about, yeah, you're fake news. No, you just don't like, because they don't like what you're doing, and they bashing you, and they got the right to do it. Anybody got the right that has the credentials to come there, they got the right to question you. And even those people questioning you, you got to look at it like, oh, why are they even annoyed? Because they going with an intensity on him that's not saying, hey, you're a piece of crap. It's like a personal thing. They're like, what are you doing? Are you doing this for us? What are you doing? You're saying this, and then it's not adding up. Then you're saying this the next time. You got this doctor sitting up there telling us something. You got this black dude, the general dude, telling us something. And like, it ain't none of this stuff y'all saying adding up. None. So what am I supposed to believe? See? And then people get caught up in that, and your mind shut down like, hell with it. I don't want to learn nothing. I don't want to do no research. And that's what you do. That's how you shut a brain down. Splitting it in half. Same thing like you train a dog. You keep breaking them down till they just snap. You're going to get a crazy dog and get bit. And I got a lot of bites on me, so I know natural reactions to things. And either certain dogs will bite you and tear your behind up. And I've had them and had to go to emergency rooms. And I had ones that actually get submissive as hell to where they'll actually sit there with their head down. And that's what they're doing to people. They're cracking your brain and they're leaving you sitting there. So whenever they tell you to do something, you're going to move exactly where they want you to move. It's going to be a robot. Feast on water. He's going to get a whole bunch of more people killed. Hey, you know what? People, if you don't want to do the research, because it gets on my nerves sometimes, and I've been doing it for years. So I can understand people not wanting to do the research, but if somebody threatens your life, that's why they got a fight or flight, a fight or flight reaction. It's naturally inside of you. If you're gonna run from something that's putting terror into you, and you see it, or you're gonna fight it. Okay, that's why they say a mom and her baby, don't ever try to come in between them, because she'll fight you to the death, even if it means her dying. You get what I'm saying? So it's a natural reaction. This is what they work off of. So they got these people standing still, looking crazy. Because I had a live video where I went on a rant. I was really upset. And I was saying that I was like, these people are shell shocked, man. They're not moving. A lot of people are not moving, and it's going to get them killed, or they're going to sit around and they're just going to be waiting for somebody to hand them something, and they're going to look stupid anyways. So either way, you're going to fight or you're going to run. And most people are not even running. It is hiding. And I told somebody put up a Facebook post talking about, it was like 3 circles, but then it was like a little middle. I said, oh yeah, it was a female. I said, oh, that's the gray area. That's exactly where I stay. And she was like, that's right. I was like, because most people don't want to move to a gray area because you don't know how to function in there. But I've been put there. My uncle said it to me all the time. He says, I said, I don't understand this. And he used to always tell me it's that gray area. And he said it for years. And I'm like, what are you talking about, the gray area, dude? I don't understand what you're talking about. So when he finally kept saying it to me and he knew it was pressed in my brain, he finally hit me with it one day. He said, you know what the gray area is? He said, this is where there's nobody there and nobody wants to go to. That part where you got to think, or where you got to move. It's not the norm, and it's not the left or the right. It's just right there in the middle. And he said, few sit there. Heaps see, but few know. You got to stay there sometimes to keep your sanity away from people that swear they know and people that don't know nothing, and it's just ignorance, and they'll have you locked up in it. And that's one thing with me, I'll get upset about and I'll fight to the death. I don't like when people just give me ignorance. I'm not going to deal with it. If you want ignorance, you can stay there. They're getting themselves killed. There they are. Some people are getting themselves killed. What are they going to do? Man, you can only feel sorry to a certain extent. And if you say that's cold-hearted, well, then you can call what you got to call. But I'm going to tell you right now, that quarantine that you see that they got us on, a lot of people dying. And them numbers that you got, I don't believe them. I don't believe them. So you're going to have to show me a lot more and tell me a lot more and have a better White House conference, because you, the people that everybody swears that they got to follow you and what you're doing, it's not right. It's a bunch of nonsense. You know what I'm saying? And you're working and you're shedding and pushing the sheep to a certain area, and it's going to be straight for you to get slaughtered. Straight right there. And people going to get slaughtered. I ain't going to be there. Nah, man, you're not going to have me, man. I'm going to be out here looking like the Book of Eli. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be out here looking like Denzel. Dude, I don't care. And you're not going to go out, you're not going to hurt me. You're not going to hurt the ones that I love. And if I'm right around you, you got to take what we saying to you. And some will listen and some won't. Just like Lot and his wife. Yeah, I told him to leave. He said, don't. He said, gather your family up, whatever you got left, and leave. And he said, don't turn around. And guess who turned around? His wife turned around and looked, because she just had to see it. Boom, done. It's a story to tell you something. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes he told to go a certain way. That's why I always look for God's hand on something. I don't look for that government, no nothing. I want to see what God's hand on. Where he got his, you know what I'm saying, that knowledge sitting there that you gotta learn and put it into practice of what you learned in the past. You gotta put it into practice. You gotta be able to survive. What are people gonna be able to survive on? Do you have those kits to get through? Do you? Is your house filled with, you know, mason jars filled with vegetables, all types of fruits that are good for you? Limes. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that's real rich in thing, you know, and having coal, crushed coal, and having, you know what I mean, your different little what is it, cotton, where you can make masks for yourself. because they got you running around thinking you got to wear a mask like that. Because I see a lot of people that don't wear the mask and ain't nothing happened to them. Nothing. What happened to them? Nothing. And then nobody's really saying that. But now, you know what they had to do? Because people wouldn't wear the mask and do what they wanted them to do. They forced you. Because if the last things that they got open, you know what you got to do? Because I actually went there. Tony took me with her. And I said, what the hell? When I looked at it, I said, oh my God, what are they doing? They had people with the little iPads at the Walmart tapping everybody that goes in there to stop to see how many people that are enough people are inside that store. Because you know, certain places it's full. It's in a smaller area. But what is the limit of people you allowing just to come in there? Because I see people coming in and out of that Walmart. It's not as much as it usually is, but it's a lot in there. So why their number different than our number, even though it's a bigger place? But dude, that number's way off than the one that you guys are doing over here in regular stores, like a ShopRite or an Acme. I'm saying, because you can actually walk through an Acme and a ShopRite, and there ain't too many people in there. Go in a Walmart and see how many people you see walking around there. It's a lot of them. You still waiting in lines to get to the register. Why are they allowed to do it and we not? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's another thing that's off. I just pulled that up, but that wasn't something that I wrote down or thought about. That's another one. Like, come on, dude. Like, how are you doing that? And then certain other places can't do it. You get what I'm saying? It don't make sense. They're messing it up. Like you try to pull the wool over people's eyes, and then like the cover, it actually fell back down. Like, oh snap! Now we see you behind that curtain, Wizard of Oz. You get what I'm saying? We see the eyes. We see you behind there doing the boom boom, making all the noises and the thunder and all that. What you trying to do to people, man? I'm saying like, come on, man. Like some of the stuff that you've done out here, it's probably changed people like for the rest of their life. People that were older or people that are now, like, you know what I'm saying, that are younger, you might have scared them and they'll never forget it. This COVID-19 and this quarantine that we did is just another part of my life, and I'm just gonna keep on going. It's not gonna make me or break me. I just had to follow certain things to get it and guidelines, and I'm gonna get up out of it and rock and roll. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people they're not looking at it like that. Some people are folding. This is bothering me. If we gotta go to May in certain states, people are not going to be good because they barely made it out of this one. I don't think they're going to be good at all. And that's the people that I'm looking for. Them people that are hurting right now, and I don't think they're going to make it another month. You make them do it. You know what I'm saying? And then if you letting other people go, why these people can't go? Sometimes it's the governor, and some of them are just simple. If you go out there and get them people slaughtered, the blood should be on your hand to know what's going on. I had to start. What do you say? I had to start door dashing so I don't starve to death. Every store is different. Nobody really seems to know what's going on. Yeah, exactly. Hey, how you doing? Inspiration for you and me. Talking about this quarantine. That's all we doing. Yeah, but feast on royalty, like, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. You see exactly what you said? Feast on royalty. That's confusion. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, why would you have people confused? Like, when you're dealing with this, you've been dealing with it long enough, and you got people that up in higher places that are getting good money to figure something out immediately, fast, in a 24-hour period. They're getting hundreds of thousands, almost millions, to figure your problems out, dude, so you can go out in front of the people and give them a speech on some right numbers. But that's not what y'all doing. Y'all got a number over here, a dud graph over here, and something stupid over here, and people are like, what? And they're like, yo, dude, I gotta make it in life. I can't be doing this with you. I gotta make movements. And they out there putting their life on the line if this stuff really catching and killing people, and they out there trying to live. Like, you doing DoorDash. Like, come on, like, you gotta live. You don't want to fall down. You know what I'm saying? But they got you so confused. You're like, dude, I gotta do what I gotta do. I mean, and how fair is that to people? And you, the government, supposed to be telling us and helping us. You ain't helping us. You pushing us to the slaughterhouse. You know what I'm saying, but you ain't gonna have me. I ain't gonna be the one you gonna push there. Won't get me. How are you? Glad to have caught you live. Oh, tell them. Yeah, inspiration. Like, how I can start getting. And after this live thing for the Weekly Scheme podcast, I'm gonna be going live out there. Me and Mr. Random. And we're gonna do that for the whole night. So I'm gonna be open like there. So I'm putting in extra time. But I'm giving people this right here, this quarantine, that they got to get themselves together, man. pull up your britches, put your hat on straight, get your bearings together, and understand what you're looking at. Weigh it and do what you have to do. You know what I'm saying? You have to do what you have to do because you can't keep waiting on these people. Got us out here looking simple, man. I don't think it's fair to a lot of people. I see it from all angles. And there ain't no reason for me to say I'm seeing it from all angles so I can just be cool with everybody. No, but I do see it from all angles because I look at it that before I even come out and try to say anything to people. I watch what comes out of my mouth saying stuff to people because I can be real harsh and people really look and take what I say, you know. That's why I gotta watch myself certain times and what I say to people because it hurts them. Sometimes I don't know what I'm doing, you know, because I'm just a hard edge like that because it's just the way I was brought up. Like my mom is supposed to be a woman figure. My mom's like a man. She don't look like a man, but she was just hard, man. So I never had that nurtured type of, you know what I mean, feeling. I'm hard edge, man. Like I don't play them type games. Like if this is truth, take it. I'm blunt. I'm sorry. I try to learn a better way to polish it up, but I right now I ain't worried about polished words. People need to know what the hell's going on, and we're gonna do it right, you know. And like somebody I got in here right now, that they was working out there and doing stuff. They, you know, some people are essential, but they the ones that's getting beat on like old greyhounds. You trying to make them race again, man. Like how bad did you push them and break them to where they ain't gonna be able to function right ever again? You know what I'm saying? That you doing this to people that's supposed to be taking care of the people that's hurt. And you wearing them out, man. You wearing them out with the stick. Like you can't keep beating on people. Y'all want people, I'm saying, man. Watch this thing. Because usually they call me the 24-hour man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta watch these people because I just think them push like what do those governors that are saying that you can go back out? What do they have that we don't have? Or somebody said, this is what somebody got to answer from me. Somebody has to answer this because something is not right about them just saying, okay, you can let it out and nobody can move. What is predominantly in one area? Like, come on. I'm in a state where it was leading like #2 in the United States. It was New York and New Jersey. Like up north Jersey was getting hit more because they're near New York, but we still getting hit down here. It trickled down. So I'm in one of the states that is the worst. Like, so what's so good in them other states that we can't even get a little difference of change of coming out? You know what I'm saying? Because you just want us to sit up in here and only essential people go to work, or people that do a special job with food, like they can go to work. Like I don't get that. What about them people going to work and then coming home? You know what I'm saying? Like they putting their families in danger. So how different are they? I don't think they do. Listen, don't get confused with these people. You know who the author of confusion is? The devil. Watch for him, man, because it's only people that's doing it. Don't look for that dude with the horns. It's people. And watch what they say to you, because people be trying to hurt you, man, and they try to put you and make you go in a different direction that you shouldn't be going in, just to steer you wrong. Some people live for that, and you got to watch them. So watch who you're around, watch who you're listening to, and make sure that what you're listening to isn't watered down. Do your research. I keep telling you all this. Do your research. So nobody can just tell you. Because as soon as somebody says something to you, if you do your research and your studies, when somebody says something to you, something that you read and you know and went so close into, you know, like, and you broke it down to the finest molecule, you'll know when somebody says something to you, be like, hold on. You'll know where they go at in the play. Oh, you that person here, and you that person. Everybody has a position to play. Everybody, when I move around somebody, I look for them like I'm in a play. They all got to be somewhere. You know what I'm saying? They all sit somewhere. Even me, I look at myself, oh, I'm this position in this play. Like if you don't look at life like that, dude, I'm telling you, you're gonna get yourself hurt. Because there's a lot of people that do a lot of crazy stuff. Money in the stocks is crashing. They need people to go back to work. Yeah. Inspiration? Yeah. They're like, okay, enough is too fine. Because this is my closing. Inspiration, as great as you brought that up, because this is my closing. I keep telling people this. This is the closing. Yeah, facts fees. He said they want to use you as a tool. Yes, they do. Yep, James, they're going to use you as a tool. Now, peep this. As they used everybody as this tool, I'm going to tie it in. You and inspiration for you and me got me on my closing. Now, they did all this, right? Do you think this stuff has been coming in the ports That's what you should ask yourself. Have they been letting those ships into the ports? Because I know some people that know that stuff that happens with that. And guess what they was doing? They was leaving ships out there. They was leaving ships out there, man. And then ones that was already there, they was undoing it. So all that stuff that they get from other places, because you got to think about it. Medicine has gotten affected. Our PPE has gotten affected. Everything's being affected because we outsourced, and it's not USA, quote unquote, made in the USA. We stopped it a long time ago. So there's going to be a trickle down effect of not getting stuff in anymore. So eventually, if they go on for, let's say they went on for another month or two, they're not going to be able to stock them shelves. And whatever they're stocking from home that's here and they're putting in there, yo, you're going to beat those people down like you beat those nurses and those doctors down. You're going to beat them down to nothing. And we're not going to have nothing on the shelf. People are going to be fighting. They're going to be rationing out food. This is what people ain't peeping. This is a trickle-down effect, brothers and sisters. I'm telling you. It's cause and effect. My dad taught me as a young age. He said, son, it's cause and effect. If anything else, it's uncivilized. I'm telling you. I'm like, what? Something causing it, and here's the effect of it. You got to look at all that in between, that gray area, what they were doing. It'd be a whole bunch of nonsense. Still no excuse, though. Y'all should buy some stock, and y'all will understand. Man, listen, inspiration, I've done it for years, the stock. They have beat it up. They beat it up. And it's just, I can't take it no more. Like I had to pull myself. I was losing before this happened. Like this is like a year or maybe like 2 years ago. I started losing bad. I started losing bad money in that stock. I was like, oh no. And I'm trying to do it. And I start like before, like when I stopped it, like I lost a lot of money. Me, my brother did, and I was like, so now the way stuff is and them stocks is falling like that. Hey, listen. Like I studied that stock. I know why they do it, why that number go up and down and stuff like that. And you gotta watch them people, man, because they're using and abusing that money. They're using and abusing it. And soon money ain't gonna mean nothing. They're gonna light their cigars with $100 bills like it's just to use it as an instrument to light something. I'm telling you, there's none of this money gonna mean nothing. They're trying to do a one world currency and they're gonna get it off sooner or later if people keep acting like they ain't got no sense. But them ships not coming in, and we not having stuff. If those daggone warehouses that's supplying stuff now run out, y'all are in for a thing. And other stuff that we haven't done. Because all those restaurants and stuff that's closed, that food and stuff that they got, some of that stuff ain't lasting no more. And some of that stuff that they ain't getting in, it's gonna be a lot of people are hurt. A lot of people, little mom and pops, will never recover. A lot of those places that are a little step over them are probably never going to recover or be the same. If they're in chains, they're going to either get shut down or they'll have to change something up and they'll be different from when you seen them before we got into this mess. A lot of stuff is going to be affected bad. And we're going to have to be ready for that, for what your eyes is going to see, because some things will never change. But some things are going to change and you're never going to see it the way you saw it before. So you got to go in it with a love just for looking at something in the now. You're looking at it, you're like, hey, don't try to be like, oh, remember what, because it's going to have you with too much anxiety. Because they said the way this world is going to start to turn out to be, they say that a child is going to be born with gray hair from the stress and the anxiety there, stuff that we're going to start seeing. And we're getting there. It's getting closer and closer. And people just think it's a mystery, guys. Stuff is just floating around and just happening. Nah, there's things pushing, making things happen. And we're gonna be stressed out, And what's so funny is that I take blood pressure medicine. I'm more at ease. My blood pressure is down more than it's ever been in this quarantine stage, because this is how I normally lived. So this is comfortable for me, You can go to work, come home, go to work, come home, and just study and go to a mosque, go to what you have to do, and just keep coming back and forth. Like I'm used to this type of life, so it's not really making me have anxiety and just like, oh, I want to get sometimes I get cabin fever. Everybody gets it. Everybody gets it. I get it sometimes, and I be like, whoo, I got to go out and I walk a little bit down the sidewalk. I'll come back, or or when White Tony Short asked me, "Hey, you want to go here?" I'll be like, "All right, real quick, boom," and I'll do it, and I'll come right back. You want to go? No, I don't want to be out here. It's the other reason, but but that's the main reason. You know what I'm saying? Is we need to follow your. We need to follow your. The woman always go astray, and the man is supposed to guide her. Yeah, and exactly, Juddy. You get it right, and you get the house and the children right. The man has to lead. That's why sometimes, like when I can't lead, and like she has to do it, like I feel so uncomfortable because it's not supposed to be like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's just a good inner dwelling like relationship. You know what I mean? A union, a marriage. Like you know what I'm saying? That's why they say the boyfriend and girlfriend don't really work because you don't really have nothing to work towards. Most people can't do it. Some can, but you got to have that connection to where that's your balance. Like, you know what I'm saying? She got to know what her role is. Like you got a role, she got a role. That's why I'm saying everybody got a role in this play. You got to play it. You know what I'm saying? And like people be like, oh, you just trying to control. No, it ain't got nothing to do with control, dude, because if you want to talk about control, you've been being controlled and battery in your back. Don't worry about what I'm doing, me and my home. We gonna be right because I can sick her ass on you. You know what I'm saying? And you won't be able to deal with it. Because what's being deposited in there is knowledge. Ain't no hate and ain't no control because I don't want to be controlled. So I don't really want to control anybody because I'm sick of controlling what I gotta think about. I don't want to control nobody else either. You know what I'm saying? But I will guide. That's what it should be, is guide. You follow what you're doing. That's why it says when you do homework, or when you do homework, it says follow the directions. Okay, you got to follow something. You know what I'm saying? So why not? Follow your husband. Now, there's certain things that she might, your significant other might say that it carry you on, you know what I'm saying, to help you. Because behind every good man is a great woman. You know what I'm saying? Y'all get it right and get the house. Okay, you said your Feast on World said they're going to kill a small business so we all become robots for the Fortune 500 companies. Yo, bro, you ain't saying nothing but words. That's right. That's it. They getting you right. That's what I'm saying. They sitting people down. They're going to ruin it. They're going to ruin them. And you see, they'll ruin those chains. They're going to ruin change. Because I'm telling you, the only thing I said this years ago, believe me, Walmart, when they bought, look who owns it all. It's not that one guy. Because I look where he came from, that old man that started with that family business, and it ain't them no more. He didn't sold into something and got some people investing. Man, look at those companies in that. Because my man James, but he get down and dirty. I call him the big head scientist. I can sick him on you. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, yo, man, break that down to the finest molecule, and he'll break it down for me. And I'll give it back to you, and you'll be like, what the heck? Yeah. So I got people in certain areas that can break stuff down that you ain't gonna be able to even mess with. I got some guns on my team. I'm saying we roll hard. Nobody better than the others. We roll and we giving that knowledge. We gonna get you. We gonna be called the new dream team. You know what I'm saying? I got women, men, and that's what we gonna do. It's just gonna be Walmart and Amazon left. Feast on Royalty, just rev money. That's what it's gonna be. And you see how because I don't think UPS is gonna be able to keep up. If it really went down, this quarantine went like this any further, I think that it would hurt them and they would fall off a little bit, or they would buy in and merge into an Amazon, like you're saying. You get what I'm saying? But Amazon, they doing stuff that is illegal to do. They're actually monopolizing. And that's a whole nother episode I would have to do on that. That's monopolizing. That would be illegal for me or you to do, but they can do it. So Walmart and Amazon are actually monopolizing the game because you can get anything from them. Tony been ordering off the hook from them. Why do you think they started Prime? She can order something to be here the very next day. Boop. I seen package get dropped off 3 or 4. Boom. I'm like, yo, turn around midday, more packages. Man, they dropping off like it's nothing to them. And then one day we actually went to like a back way in Jersey to get to a place we call Runnymede. They had all these little short vans. Like they look like Sprinter vans. That's what it is. It looked like Sprinter vans with black and white. I was like, what the hell is all that? And I looked, and one had something on the back of it. It was like, and she was like, that's what I'm telling you. She said, that's some Amazon vans that be coming and delivering stuff. I was like, what? So I looked, and we drove by it slow. Matter of fact, it was off of 42. It was an industrial park off of 42. That's where we seen it at. And I seen it in the building. It had it. It said Amazon on the corner of the building. I said, yo, and it was, it had to be like 50 of those vans. I was like, what? And all I see that delivered to this house, straight those vans, white and black ones. Yo, they are killing us out here with this. Amazon and Walmart. Because they the only ones that's thriving. You don't hear about them talking about they hurting their money. They ain't gonna die off because they cornered everything. So it's just gonna be Amazon and Walmart. And then I'm telling you, when it goes down real bad, they'll use that Walmart dude as a holding facility. Because look at all them Walmart, they all look the same. There's nothing different. Nothing different. All the way across the board, they're the same. Amazon does all the same stuff. All the buildings are the same. Straight across the board. Everything they do, they say, across the board the same. You please, that's not true. She said, what's not true? About you talking about she said pharmaceutical companies, airlines, etc. will be here to stay. No, we're talking about as in, no, we're talking about as inspiration. And we're talking about as in like where you can go like to get stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about like you taking flights out nowhere. Like there'll still be like normal stuff. There'll still be normal stuff. We're talking about as in like a consumer. You know what I'm saying? Because there ain't really like Amazon crazy like Amazon planes. It's only for them to put packages on. You know what I'm saying? But I think you'll be able to fly out on certain stuff. Like, but I don't think they'll have as many airlines as they, you know what I'm saying, that they had. You know what I'm saying? And right now they're going to have to deal with pharmaceutical companies at Homebred because most of the stuff that they were getting was China. You know what I mean, all the pharmaceuticals was coming from China. So if they not feeling good about China, where are they going to get it from? It's going to have to be homegrown. So that means the price that they're going to have to charge is going to be high because they had to try to keep up with China and they couldn't do it. So they had to make their stuff astronomical, and that's what it's going to do to us. And it's just going to spike everything. You know what I mean? Because we're going to have to deal with home because you got us thinking that we scared to deal with China and everything that they're doing. But then there was another point that I put on them before I bounce out with this. Who remembers when China back in 2007 was sending toys over here with contaminated paint? Who remember that? I brought that up. People forget that. China been doing crazy stuff to us too. Like, come on, man. This wasn't the first time. So you didn't think that was alarming? Come on, everyone wants to boycott China. Okay, I got it, y'all. My bad. No, it's all right. Inspiration. No, we'll get you to where we going. You know what I'm saying? Because you didn't understand, so we just had to clarify. That's all. Ain't no big thing. We cool over here. We just learn. You might put me on something. I gotta like, oh, dag, you right, and I'll correct myself. You know what I mean? It's just pulling. We just call it pulling the coattail. That's all. Everyone want to boycott China. Yeah, they do. They want to boycott it, and you know what's so bad is that we are going to suffer because that's where we get most of our stuff from, like our main things that run us. Like, why would you do that? It's kind of crazy. But China, they did us dirty before though. So that's the get ready time, and we better get ready. Yeah, we better. It's love. But yo, y'all do that. Say, remember China 2007 when they sent them toys over here with that bad paint. And we was over here ingesting all that crazy stuff. The kids were putting it in their mouth, looking all crazy, getting seizures. People got sick from that. But you know what I mean? That went off to the wayside. And then nobody worried about that no more. But now everybody worried about, oh, they're coming out with Wuhan. Man, them people in China been wearing masks. I used to always say, like, why they walking around looking like Scorpion and Sub-Zero over there, man? They looking crazy because they've been dealing with bull crap over there. Small, different diseases. They've been tripping over there, dude, because they eat kind of crazy to me. But that's all good. That's neither here nor there, but you just got to pay attention, though. But thank everybody for coming through the Weekly Scheme Podcast. We'll see y'all next Tuesday, and we're going to do the Talk Lounge one time next week, you know, me and Annette Geo. So look out for that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have a safe night, and I'm going out. I'm doing my YouTube thing later on tonight, and we're going to rock out all night. Me, Mr. Random, and whoever else come in there. Inspiration. I hope you come in there. We're going all night. Because Mr. Random called me on the phone. I couldn't talk while I'm talking to y'all. So just remember, we're on all the platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We got a group and a like page, so like it, share it, you know what I'm saying? Comment on the video, you know what I'm saying? And y'all just be good out there, man. Until next week, we're going to come with something great. And hopefully the phone lines up so we can get some calls in. Y'all have a good night. Hug your family. Tell them you love them. I mean, life is short. Always live it to the fullest and live in the now. Y'all be cool. Peace out.